All right, hey, what's up everybody? GratuiTous here, and I'm back with my third book that I've released on Amazon. So this book is called Proper Producer Mindset. It's actually my biggest book yet. I think it has about 60 pages. Here's the back of it. And so this book actually covers a couple different topics that I've always wanted to talk about. So one is setting yourself up financially to be a music producer. So to be a music producer, you don't have to make all of your money from being a music producer. But if you do set yourself up in such a way to allow income to flow for yourself, then you can be making music for, the rest of your life without having to worry about money. Because money takes it brings a lot of stress to you. It also makes you rush things. So for example, if you want to sit down and make your music, but if you have to wake up tomorrow morning for work, stuff like that, it kind of dips into your creative time, because when you're making music, when you're being creative, you need that time to make your music, you know what I mean? So I talk about that in this book in a sense of preparing yourself financially. When you're younger, if you set up when you're young, it becomes a lot easier when you're older too. Another thing I talk about in this book is being yourself. I've been talking about that, for so long on my website, on my blog. It's just about, when you see all these bedroom producers and, they're just following the trends. For myself, that kind of bugs me. And because I feel that as a music producer, it's like the whole point of being a music producer is truly being yourself, and people like your music for your style. If we listen to, hip hop and stuff back in the day, back in like the 90s and the 2000s, these producers and these artists, it was like they were so original. Like, if you listen to, one producer's type of music or one rapper's music, it's like you knew their style, you knew who they were. But lately, especially with trap music and everything, it's kind of fallen into this trend of, it's like you can't really tell an artist apart from each other, like if you aren't following the genre, if you're not following, the latest music, if you just, you kind of tune in and you just listen to one track to another track, it's like all you're hearing, from a producer standpoint, it's like I just hear an 808, I hear a hi-hat triplets, and then if you're talking like mumble rap and stuff like that. So for myself, it's like I've never fallen into these trends. For example, dubstep, right? Dubstep, it was around for a bit and it was so big, it was so popular, and where is it now, right? Like dubstep is pretty much gone. So what I'm trying to get across to you is if you want to create your own lifelong path in this music industry, you want to be yourself. And the reason for that is because your fans will start to like you for you. And as you continue to release your music, as you, proceed to be a music producer, people will get excited for your next release. And then you also don't have to worry so much about your style. You don't have to, try and copy this person or try and keep up with certain trends. It's like, yes, it's okay to learn from what's out there and kind of see what, different techniques are available. But for myself, I truly feel that to be an amazing producer, one that's really, really well respected, you want to learn the piano. You want to learn to play like all your different chords. You want to learn some sound design, but you want to be able to put it into a track with your touch on it. Okay, so like for myself, back in the day when I used to check out different beat makers on like their beat store and stuff like that, I just remember going from like from producer to producer to producer, and it was like, man, like it's like, why are you just copying each other? And I understand, like, when you create music that's popular, that's in, your chances of being found is a lot higher and stuff like that. Like I get it, right? It's like that's what's in. Those are the trends. But the thing is, the trends change. And, you don't want to be on the trend train. You want to be original. You want people to follow your music for you, because they like you, they like your style, and they can't wait for your next release. So that's what I talk about a lot in this book. So let's look at like the chapters here. And then, so here's the other books I've released. So Audio Painting and Safe Spots. They're both just kind of terms I've coined over the years. And so here's the table of contents. So first of all, like the introduction of like, what is this book about? So I break down like what my personal goals as an artist and producer is. So what are you wanting to achieve out of your music? Why it's important to be yourself in the entertainment business? What type of music sells? That's a really, really interesting chapter. I talk about, a lot of the music that's on the radio. And I'm, it's not just like rap and hip hop, I'm just really talking in general, and then what you say in your music can never be taken back. This is a really, really big one. A lot of people don't realize that they're influencing thousands, if not like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people through their music. And the things that they say, it's like you can never take back. And all of a sudden you get older, you become wiser, more mature, and you start to realize, I don't want my name to be portrayed to, those certain things. The next chapter is don't let money make your decision, because that can bring a lot of negative things into your life. So right now, if you get a record deal, it's very, very exciting, but what happens when that record deal limits you, so that you're not able to create the type of music that you want to create? Or if you do create the music that you want to create, you always have someone critiquing before you release it, right? Which is not fun. I don't feel that that's being an artist. It's like you're just making music and just putting it out there to sell, but you're not allowing your creative ability to flow, because if you did have a record deal and you have someone, watching over your work, you can never truly release and create what you truly, truly want, right? I have a chapter here on follow the paper trail. Again, that's kind of to do with what type of music sells and stuff like that. How are you going to achieve your goals? So I just kind of break down different approaches you can take to achieve, your goals in music. The biggest thing with that chapter is you yourself, you have to figure out what you want. Okay, so the way how I approach it is going to be different than how you are going to approach it. But the biggest thing is taking time out to figure out that goal. Okay, so I just kind of talk about that, and then again, so why follow the trends when they change? And that I just have a specific chapter on that, and then we just kind of wrap up with the conclusion here. And yeah, so this is really cool. I've actually learned how to design these books. So I write this all myself. I actually get my mom to edit it. She proofreads, and then I kind of go through and fix stuff. It's just really, really cool. So this is all just through Amazon. I give you a list of a lot of my favorite songs. Just thinking about, as you are a producer, it's like I feel that to be a well-rounded producer, you want to know lots of different genres. You want to know the different techniques in these genres. And yeah, I don't know, it's just at the end of the day, it is my opinion, and that's why I wrote the book on it. But I really feel that this information should get out there, because there's a lot of people who are just copying what's in. And the thing is, the trends change, and you're just going to be jumping from trend to trend. And that's not a fun situation to be in your music career. If you want to be a really awesome music producer that people, they love your music, then you be yourself, and the fans will follow if they love your music, right? Because if they don't love your music, maybe your music isn't good. Or maybe it is good, but you have to learn how to market it or how to get it in front of the eyes of these people. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, if your music is good, people will love your music, and they won't be able to wait until your next, beat tape or however you release your music. Okay, so again, this book is it's both an ebook and paperback format. It's on Amazon. If you guys want to check it out, the link is in the description below, and I hope you guys enjoy.